Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another day, another week in trading. So, obviously, looking at the XRP chart. So, we're going to be talking about XRP today, and we're going to be going over the weekly, and we're going to scale on down. But first, I want to cover this article. It's been a while since there's been anything come out officially. Like as far as just to the general public. So, CoinDesk is general public, but so it's been a while since XRP has had significant news on here, but here it is. So XRP spikes 10% as several institutions adopt Ripple services. XRP has spiked in the past 24 hours to become the top performing crypto majors. To become the top performing crypto majors as Bitcoin and Ethereum held steady. Prices rose over 11%, slightly retreating on Monday, with trading volume spiking to 2 billion from Sunday's 1 billion. CoinGecko data shows at the time of writing, XRP traded at 69 cents and replaced BNB. So it's over Binance. We're over Binance now. So for as the fourth largest token by market capitalization. Data suggests gains were largely spot driven as liquidations on XRP tracked futures tracked futures breached just over 4.4 million. A large liquidation amount may have suggested that the use of high leverage may have boosted prices. So when you're using leverage, basically a broker is giving you that extra power to your dollar. So $1 could be $100 or whatever the case. So with that being said, not all of the price movement is from spot. No immediate catalyst for the gains existed on Monday. However, bulls have reacted to two positive development for payment firm Ripple last week, as the company won key approvals to operate and offer services in Georgia and Dubai. So this is really big, and there's an event on November 9th, the day that Ripple is supposed to come to settlement, is what everything is looking like with the SEC on as far as the institutional sales of XRP being security. So for those of y'all that don't know, Ripple was sued, Brad Garlinghouse and them were sued because they had institutional sales and made like $1 billion or something dollars from it. So the Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler, and them went after them to sue them for retail and for the institutional sales. So they dropped the retail sales so that like you and I, regular people, can buy it, But for institutions, that's still lingering. So that's what that's why we're seeing a lot of this price movement we're going to get to is coming from the speculation that that this is going to have a positive outcome. Just always be ready for when there's this much green. Always be ready. You gotta be emotionally ready for, and actually ready. Have a plan in place for what's going to happen if things turn around. Anyways, because when things get this green, excuse me, in the news and in price action, then that starts to throw up actually like red flags to me when it starts reaching the general public. Excuse me. So, anyways, Ripple said last Thursday that the Dubai Financial Services Authority (DFSA) approved XRP under its virtual asset regimen, allowing licensed firms in the Dubai International Finance Center, a financial sandbox, to incorporate and offer XRP to clients as part of their crypto services. So that's really big. Dubai is on the front edge of all that stuff. Excuse me. I think everyone knows what Dubai is. So on the same day, the firm said it would start working with the National Bank of Georgia on the digital Lari GEL pilot project, which will use the firm's central bank digital currency CBDC platform. So that Ripple actually has two different layers, one for retail and one for institutions. Hong Kong and Taiwan governments are already using the CBDC service, which launched in May. Institutions can use the platform to manage and customize the entire life cycle of the CBDC, which includes minting, distribution, and redemption, and token burning. It says central banks can issue both wholesale and retail CBDCs, which can make offline transactions as well. Ripple has historically maintained a distance from Ripple has historically maintained a distance from XRP, the token that powers some of the products in the XRP Ledger network. But any progress in Ripple court cases or licenses clearly impacts XRP price as traders consider the two related. So, So this is important because this is generally what the whole lawsuit was about. Like, XRP is not Ripple. XRP is not Ripple. XRP is a token that they use to make cross-border payments using the XRP ledger. So, but the company behind it is Ripple. This is just basically like a unit, so it's separate. Basically, Ripple, XRP Ledger, Ripple, that's where the tokens are, that's like the conduit, and Ripple is like the, what makes the transactions on the ledger. Anyways, let's go look at the charts. It's important to know because, just like I was saying, when we're seeing news about the Ripple case and where they're, broadening their horizons to, like in Dubai and Georgia, in the places that they have already been in, or partnered with and using their service, because that impacts this price. So SEC was going after them because they were saying that XRP was a security because of that. But for it to be a security, there has to be several prongs on the Howey test that are passed. So one is like a written agreement. So having a written agreement, an investment contract, promising something for, if for XRP holders, promising them if the development of Ripple goes up, then they're guaranteed that the XRP price will go up, like in writing. That's one of the things, and that's one of the things that they don't have to win the case. So they've been getting the brakes beat off of them. We're looking at a weekly chart. We first got weekly engulfing down here at 50 cents. We had the week close at 52 cents. We broke a major resistance point here on the weekly. Go ahead and draw this. So this is a weekly resistance right here. Right at 58,547. You see the weekly candle. We got a nice flat top on it. But we're coming into another resistance right here. So and get this one up. Just gonna put these on here for now. So I'm looking at this point right here. I'm looking at these wicks. This wick, looking right here. So let's just draw it over and see. Sometimes these will form a straight line. And that's the difference between, so this would be a resistance. This would be a resistance zone. I'm just using lines right now. And this would be support. So right now we're in between. We're coming up on a resistance at 75 cents. For us to move up higher, actually go ahead and put this on here. So 75 cents. We're basically looking at, we want to see this break into 76 cents. And down here we have this now. I'm looking at these because more so than, and there is a trend going through here, or another support right here, but this is the most immediate, and also this one has the ones that had the biggest pushes and rejections off of it. And actually, if we bring it on over just a little bit. Oops. Bring it over just a little bit. Then we can see right here it goes across these, this wick right here, and nearly this candle body. Anyways, just going for as many, and then also this area. So boom, we had big pushes off this. We were going up hard right here. You gotta remember this is a weekly time frame. So when it comes to drawing support and resistance, I use candle bodies. I try to use candle bodies as much as possible because I want a definitive answer, and this isn't the only way to do it, but this is the way that I choose to do it because it's more. This one is at 58,547. Excuse me. So if we get a candle body breach here on the weekly across here, and we see like a close like this, a flat top or whatever, even if it has a little wick on it, but we close above these, then that is going to be, looking at most recent, that's going to be pretty significant to go past 75. Excuse me. Let's look at let's go ahead and check this one out down here too, because this is a possibility. We could always retrace down to here. Nothing is done or final, or nothing has happened until it's happened. So just always got to remember that. Right now the markets are moving off of speculation, not just 100% speculation, because we saw just what's happening in Dubai and with Georgia and the other places that are already using Ripple. So what's the holdup here in the States? Why? I mean, how come price is still at 71 cents and you see these no-name cryptos at like, $5, $10, $15, $20? Like no one, I don't even know what the heck they are, but they're there. So what's holding this up? Excuse me. Well, it's the pending case against the institutional sales, and that's really important for America and the rest of the world for this price to continue, because America is still the like center, as far as currencies go, and finance, all that stuff. So without America in the middle, as the link, between, you take out a link that connects most things internationally and financially, then you're going to have a 71 cent XRP, because institutions in America, for them to legally buy this, to buy XRP, they really, I'm sure that, I would think that they're already pushing in, buying, that's where this is coming from. But when it comes to investing, you don't want to be doing illegal activities. So the speculation that the institutional sales case that SEC has against Ripple will be won, and it's looking very much like that's what's going to happen. If that happens, then we're going to take basically like that clot out of the pipeline, and we're going to open up that pipeline. If America gets cleared for the institution Ripple gets cleared, then we could see this really, really escalate. So like Bank of America, for instance, has already said that they're going to be using XRP when this is done, and that's a really big bank, and I'm sure there's going to be several that are going to follow that. But anyway, 75 cents is our next resistance on the weekly. I'm just drawing lines because when we go to the smaller charts, this is going to be, I'm just going to use these right here. Sometimes I'll go in between. This point right here is a hard point. Right here. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Okay, that's it on this one. So just trying to get the most touches, rejections off of an area as possible. And I'm seeing like right. But anyway, so just a personal preference, by the way, none of this is financial advice, just personal preference. I like to see a clear breach and close on these candles before excuse me, before we call it, broken, like there's a break, so right here we stop, boom, boom, big wick, 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 little candle body. Okay, we got rejection. We got these wicks right here. Down, we have this wick up here. So this would be another resistance. So this one's at 94 cents. $0.94. And then this one down here was, I think, 54. So these are all weekly levels. There's a big gap here we left on the weekly. This is a really bullish sign. Even this engulfing. I don't know if y'all remember, we covered this engulfing right here. Down here we had a double rejection. Boom. We covered this on previous videos, but we had a big gap right here. See, that's a wick right there. Okay, I guess it wasn't too big. There's a wick right here. Let's go ahead and put this here. And this is a weekly fair value gap. So weekly fair value gap, price has not retraced. If it was going to retrace somewhere, then I would say maybe down here, back down to 59. But we're going up pretty strong. We are running down on days. We are 3 days away from, the deadline that Ripple and the SEC are supposed to supposedly, this is just speculation, settle on their drama. But it's looking pretty nasty for SEC because, they, number one, they didn't have a foot to stand on going after Ripple. That's how you want to say it. To me, it's all play. Like Gary Gensler is an actor, Brad Garlinghouse is an actor. They're all going off of a script. When they get on, talk on video, they wrote that stuff. They're given a script by somebody. So, anyways, looking for a break on the weekly to end the week. Maybe at 78, 70. I would consider this a nice clear break. If we went to 78 and closed the week at 78. But let me know what y'all think. How many of y'all think that drop a comment, how many of y'all think that we're going to break 94 cents? This one says 93 and a half, 94. This one is, how many of y'all think that we're going to break? We're going to set the week over $1 or 94. And how many of y'all think that we are going to go over $1.30? Let me know, drop a comment. I'm thinking it just depends. It just depends on what happens with the case with the Ripple stuff. So we also have a trend line here, and this is something else I've been keeping a close eye on. So we have this trend that's going through here, and this is what makes me a little bit more bearish. Let me decrease these real quick so I want to be able to see this right here, because there's a few different ways that you can look at this. There's actually more than a few. Right now, I'm sure most people are bullish. Obviously, they are, because what this all comes down to, what makes price move is there's not this, and a lot of people say this, but it's not 100% accurate. Not mean to be critical, but it doesn't mean there's more buyers than sellers. It means there's more being bought than more being sold. So you could actually have more people selling, like retail, obviously, You could have retail like selling or whatever, but that's not. You could have more of that happening, and then not near as many institutions or hedge funds or whales as they call them that are actually buying. So that the statement that there's an imbalance between buyers and sellers isn't 100% accurate. There's a difference in the amount of money being bought or leveraged, as we just talked about. So this trend has been a supporting trend now for a while, for a long while. So, and it's been really consistent. We'd left the trend right here. This was another indication. And also this now. We can go back to right here where we had the shoulder, head, shoulders jump up, spike down. This is why I wanted to really get on here again, because we could see this again. You'll never know what happens if they don't settle. What happens if the SEC was playing this whole time weak and like defeated, and they're going to come back at Ripple with something. You don't never know what's going to happen. Euphoria can be your worst, or being too confident and having too high of a conviction can be devastating. Emotionally, financially, devastating. So it can just destroy your life if you're not keeping a professional mindset. So you shouldn't ever be like, I know 100% that this is going to do this or that because of this or that. And you shouldn't ever think that, because we line up confluence between fundamental and technical analysis, and it's all really good and looking strong, that is going to be the reason why a trade plays out or not, regardless if you see it play out 80% of the time or 85% of the time. Your analysis has nothing to do. When we were down here and we saw the weekly engulfing down here on the retest and noticed this jab on the daily and all this stuff, like the market didn't go up. This jab was similar to this. We had a triple bottom. Here we had a triple bottom. Spiked up, came down crashing hard. Right here we had the same thing. 1, 2, 3. Wiped out. So took out lows. Got liquid as what. Same as here. So we had that happen already. What happened next was this. So after they wiped them out, went up, we had a bit of a period here. And not saying this is going to happen again, but just to give you an idea, because we're definitely in a different arena as far as what's happening on a, fundamentally. So it went 23 days basically in a downward consolidation, and then it was about 5 days, actually 4 days, it went up like 200%. Then after that, so what I'm trying to get to is that there's a chance that we could see, and then here we were down 51% in 22 days. And then from this point, do this. I'm trying to give you an idea. It's not just straight up. Is there a possibility that, so we're at about 400% here in 43 days. So, but is there a chance that we're going to just blast off like a rocket here? Yes. Is there a chance that this could crash? Yes. Anything can happen at any time. You just always got to remember that. So, whoops, turn that one wrong. So this is, weeklies are yellow, going with our dailies green. So we got daily level here for the day. This is more mid-term. So we're looking at about 82 cents. So 82 cents. We're looking at about 82 cents to beat on the day today, and that'll put us above the close from when we had this was from the retail. This is from the victory from retail. And look at this is what I was saying, be careful, especially if you're using leverage, because, and posted this too, but look at how far we went down in, that's not even all of it, and we went down 58%. I did the difference. I think it was like a 20 cent. No, it was bigger than that. So we are all the way up here down to here. That was a total of 50, nearly 60%. And we went from our 94 mark, 94 cents, down to 38 cents in 35 days. So if we bring this over here, just in one day, starting out this day right here, when we broke below the 1100 moving average, that's what this is. We have broken above it, so that's a really strong sign. Right here in one day, we dropped 20 cents, minus 34%. So what would that look like over here in one day? That's what it would look like. So liquidations, and that puts us right around the liquidation. Like there's liquidations all over here, but as far as like zones go, anyone going long, like long term, like buying leveraged long term, and I'm not gonna say everybody, because there's people that are freaking on the 1 minute and they got a stop loss up here, so liquidity is everywhere. But just showing what is possible in one day. So remember that, have a plan. Don't take anything I'm saying as financial advice. I'm just telling you, this is just for education purposes only. Not saying go and implement this stuff with live money. They make demo accounts and they're great for learning. So 4 hour, we got a little bit of a wick on top. We've been coming up quite a bit. So since we first saw that weekly engulfing, it was around here somewhere. We've seen impulse 1, 2, 3. Okay, are we going to come back down here and bust through this? Y'all let me know what you think. What are your projections, or what are you thinking is most likely going to happen? And if you have a XRP price prediction, let's hear them. So if I'm looking for a point on the hour to pull back to, then it's going to be around this 68 to 67 area, or this weekly fair value gap down here. Got to remember, here's our EAs down here, 250. So, we could come down here. This is a next support, also near support. So it's looking like we could retrace. We got a engulfing on the hour. Going to be watching this zone right here. Bit of red for support. And then this is at about 68.90. I'm going to put that on top. Okay, and then down here, looking, do this a little different. Move this. Let's get down here. And then it's always hard to get this to go over. So the bottom, let me go ahead and put this down here. So I'm going to put the bottom mark right here, 60, so it's basically 65 and a half. So 65 and a half. And that's at the bottom. So basically this is what we're looking at. The top mark up here. You know, this level. And at the bottom here for retracement. And ideally, what you want to see is a continuation of these types of cycles. So we have on the hour, you'll see accumulation, markup, accumulation, markup, accumulation. So when we drop to or retrace, correct, whatever, you want to see it, you know, maintain some type of, you know, parameters and look for a break in price action. But we'll cover that in another video. What you don't want to see, I mean, it's fine to see, say if you're going long, you know. And by the way, if you're a long-term holder, none of this even matters. If you got a 5-year plan, whatever, like this, relatively, I mean, it really doesn't matter as much. So you can see, like right here, we had an accumulation phase, impulse, another impulse, and then accumulation, a little retracement, and this is still accumulating even though it was trending up. Then boom, we got another one. Then our accumulation, what I want to point out is our accumulations are getting smaller and smaller. So let's look at it like this. Use these. This is going to be rough, like a, so if we're going to call this whole, well, let's use this one right here because it's basically where it started, down here. So we went right here, we went 10 days, next one we went 6 days, this one here kind of broke, 3 days, and then this one 12 hours, this one 8 hours. As you can see, price has fallen. So that's what generally just wanted to give, like a little review as, you know, far as like what's happening with price, you know, what to be looking out for, you know, in the future here, in the near future. So the date's the 9th. Any day though we could see, as we talked about. So just make sure and follow your plan. If you don't have a plan, then feel free to reach out. You know, if you happen to have bought XRP because you heard about it but you don't have any idea like how to, like where should you be taking profits, what should a plan look like, you know, what should your expectations be, you know, you have to have that. If you don't have that and it's not very precise, then, I mean like very precise, and you don't execute on that, then you're not gonna, regardless of where price goes, you might not walk out of it as profitable. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions, or if you want to get into our platform where we're doing this, but we're doing more of this and giving out signals. So, you know, high probability trading scenarios, you know. So anyways, feel free to leave a comment if you want us to cover something else. If you'd like to see something else covered, you know, another token or something like that, then also just drop a comment, reach out. It'd be great to hear from y'all. Hope that y'all have a great week ahead, and we will holler at you on the next one. See ya.